when you're transacting any deals, whether it be on a personal level with me, you and I, or whether in business, I've got to like you actually.
Absolutely.
When I actually interview, I say, I have a big investment in you. I have an investment in training you,
Yeah.
and obviously the same with you. But I have an emotional investment in you as well.
As a woman in a very male-dominated world, or a woman leading, that there was a pressure to look a certain way.
Oh God, yes.
Did you?
Oh yeah. Where women sometimes go wrong nowadays, they don't actually employ their feminine side enough.
I agree with that.
Poor men at the moment, I feel quite sorry for them because a lot of them don't know how to treat, a strong woman.
Yeah.
He's got to sit in his masculinity, like we say.
Absolutely.
To allow you to give that space up.
Yeah.
To be.
And to allow him
to be a man.
Because skin isn't just skin. It's your story. And I'm here for it. I'm Kelly Saynor. Are you ready for some Barefaced Chat? To those of you that don't know who this wonderful human is sat in front of me, this is my good friend, confidant, mentor. And let me introduce you to her because she is phenomenal. And it's probably weird hearing yourself being spoken about like this, but yes. I hope you can see what I see. In this episode, this is going to be one that's very close to my heart. Oh my God, I feel like, what's going on? I feel emotional. Okay. So my guest today is more than just a successful businesswoman. She's a woman that I trust implicitly, admire deeply, and connect with on a very soul level. Always have.
Thank you.
Barbara is the founder of Triad.
Correct.
One of the UK's longest standing promotional business gift companies, going strong for over 35 years. You've built this massive powerhouse in a very man's world, I guess, male dominated, competitive industry.
Very.
With a team that you've held together, which seem to me to be loyal. You're protective of them. Very. You're all fierce women, and you lead with integrity. That's what I've got from you and the people that I've ever met that have worked with you. But she's more than just a business success story. She's spiritual, intuitive, wildly generous, and fiercely independent. And that's probably the 5 years we've known.
Yes,
maybe
I think so.
Longer.
Yeah, I think about 5. Yeah, yes. Longer it seems though. To be perfectly honest, longer than 5.
It feels like you're a lifer.
Easier. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even at home, we talk about this. You paint walls, you fix things, you get stuck in, you do it all.
I do, got to. Single female, so yeah, I've got to, yeah.
I've got my own tool belt.
I've got 2 boxes. One at home, one in the office. Oh, I love a toolbox. Love B&Q.
My friend recently bought me a Swiss Army knife when I moved into my house. I was like,
I've got one.
It's my favourite present.
Yes, it is. Wonderful.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, you never know when you might need that.
Honestly, there's something I love about it. Not about Married at First Sight, and some guy was talking about pink jobs and blue jobs. I was like,
oh, hang on, mine's all been pink and blue constantly.
Is there a difference?
God.
So we're definitely both cut from the same cloth, and despite being 30 years apart in age, we would never know that.
No.
It's never been.
No, energy is instinctive, I think. 100%. And I think if you manage your life, your energy can continue right through. Age is just a number. I know it's a cliche to say that.
No, you're right.
But seriously, coming up to a big birthday next month, then obviously it's starting to resonate with me a little bit. And I think, no, but I'm no different now than I will be in a month's time. It's just a number.
I completely agree. And that's, I think as you get older, you realise that as well. Because you try hard when you're younger to be, don't you?
Oh, crimes. God, I've tried all my life, yeah.
Totally true. But you know what I want to talk to you about today is being unapologetic. We've talked about women and empowerment as big for the both of us.
Very.
What it means to have gone through life understanding grief, still fighting through it, recognising that and still being the one at the top. The swan, we're still going.
Very much so, yeah.
We have not stopped talking together. We swear like troopers, which I love.
We control that today as much as I can.
It's fucking fine. Do what you need to do. there is this conversation is definitely going to be no holds barred, about life, about women, about us, about connectivity. Your friend, we're sisters from another mister.
Definitely.
Please welcome and thank you, Barbara, to Barefaced Chat.
Do I get a round of applause for that?
You do.
I'm going now.
She's done. Mic drop.
I'm done. No, it's been an absolute pleasure to come and do this for you, because I respect you enormously. I could give you an accolade quite easily as long as you just give them mine. I felt really confident when I first met you, and I was fully relaxed. And I feel that women are so important, and our hats off to women who run successful businesses and have childcare as well. I do not know how really girls do that. And even though you try to be everything to everyone, you can stretch yourself so thin that you can't really give time for yourself. And it's been true of me, that really, being dedicated towards what I wanted to do. It's one of the saddest things that I never had children, purely because I was married very, very young. In my day, you got married when you were about 21, something like that. And I was divorced and bought my husband out of the house when I was 23. So that's, it was, I don't know why.
Massive testament.
Exactly. And I've been really independent since then. Even though I wanted to have a family, I realised early on, I kept thinking, I can have children again, I can have children. And then you got to the point where it was a matter of, I can't do both jobs well.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a control freak, I'll admit that. I go into minute detail to ridiculous levels.
Yeah.
And I realised that if I had children, it would definitely have an impact on this young business that I'd just fledged. So I fledged Triad when I was 28, out of my back bedroom.
Wow.
It was out of necessity because I'd left my previous employment and I'd been 2 years unemployed. I was getting to the point where I was going to lose my house. And it was either moving back to my parents or going on the enterprise scheme, of which I did in 83. It was a matter of thinking, well, I can just go and try it. So you just work really, really hard. And there's a no saying, it's a cliche, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
And it is very true. So going back to saying about the child side, and because I didn't see any need of having a baby to let somebody else bring it up for me, because I would want to see the first steps, the first smile, all that, because this control thing with me.
Yeah.
So I didn't. So I have hats off. So really, I've been extremely fortunate that I've dedicated too much of my life, I'd say, to a career.
Is it a regret in you? Is that just one thing that
it's the one thing I regret. But you can't have everything in this life.
Absolutely.
And would it be in the same company? So that's why I champion women and I try and help women, because it's still tough out there. It is very much male dominated. My industry is very competitive. Well, so is yours. You've got to give on constant great service, attention to detail, costings, being in your A game every single minute of the day. And you're in a hard industry, I think, because I can put the phone down and go, oh, God, I'm like, fucking, and go for a bit of a rant outside. When you're forward facing and you're doing something very personal to that person, you can't afford to make a mistake.
Absolutely.
You can't afford to be glum that day.
Absolutely.
Because I bet you're very much like being a hairdresser, when they go there and they tell all your problems.
Absolutely.
And you have to keep confidences and you have to kind of...
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I always feel with you that when I'm doing a business transaction, when I first start seeing, a new person, whatever it being, like yourself, I like the honesty that you give me.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you don't ever want to do things to me, because that's not me. So you understood me. So I think when somebody comes to you, and this is what I'm saying about women in business, is that you have that empathy with your clients. I think you understand where they want to be. And the transparency and the honesty that you give them by saying, I don't think really you need that.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is quite tough.
Yeah.
And you've got to deliver that with a compassionate thing, because people come in with expectations, don't they?
Absolutely.
And you've got to manage them.
I remember the first pivotal point for me, interestingly, and obviously this podcast isn't about me, it's about you, but I know this how well, it's really nice, and thank you, because it doesn't often pivot this way, so it's really nice to talk openly about this.
I like this, to do that, because it's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street, for sure. But, you know, the interest is your tapestry, but there's a pivotal moment for me when that became a thing, and it's when a walk-in patient came into the Regency. I was really lucky to get practicing privileges as a consultant at the Regency at the Spire hospitals, which was unheard of, especially for a prescribing nurse. It just wasn't, and it went down like a sack of shit with the rest of the team over there. They were all a bit like, who does she think she is? And it was really it was tough. That's why I left nursing in the first place. It was all of that. It was just it wasn't a very nice place. But I'm always thankful for what they gave me, and some of the people that I did work with there were amazing. We had a walk-in, and this person came in and said, we don't get walk-ins at private hospitals.
Oh, right, okay.
You book an appointment. You go.
You do.
The gatekeeper's the front desk, isn't it?
Luckily, I don't go to many hospitals,
right?
So that's a good thing.
It is a good thing, but at a private hospital,
you
would probably know.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you've got.
That you walk in and you are greeted with a front desk, which is okay. Where are you going? What appointment do you have? It's very much like that. Anyway, because I was in there and I'd been recommended and I'd become a bit well known on the high street. A patient walked in and this patient had said to me, I said, yes, no, okay, I've got a slot. You go and see Kel. You're lucky that she's got a slot. I want you to do my lips today. She didn't need her lips doing that day. Her lips were big enough.
Yes.
And
in proportion to the face.
Absolutely. I mean, they're probably too big for my liking. It was clear that she'd only recently had them done, but she wanted more. So I had to very quickly make a judgment of, have you been somewhere else? Have you been somewhere recent? And we got into a bit of a standoff.
Really?
Because she said, you will do my face. Now, first of all, I wouldn't do somebody in the first treatment. I'd never met this person. I need to find out who they are.
Of course you do.
You were saying to me
you've
about
got to get to know them.
Understanding
them.
They need a period of cooling off.
Yep.
You need to listen to what I've said, digest it, go home, think about it, and then make a decision.
Exactly.
Like any procedure.
Yeah.
Irresponsible if you're not, right? Nobody has to be done there and then.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do.
No, they shouldn't do. Because why would you do that? And you'd much rather have that person go away and probably think about it eventually. Actually, she's probably right. And I like the fact that she's not here just to capitalise on my vulnerability.
Absolutely.
Of how I see myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, there are a lot of people who just capitalise.
Absolutely.
On, yes, of course I'll do that. Because you don't care.
This person said to me, it's my face, it's my money, and I want you to do it today. Well, and I said at 20 odd, early 30s, it's my PIN number, it's my decision.
Reputation.
My reputation. She said, somebody will do it. I said, you know what? I'm sure somebody will.
Of course they will.
But it won't be me.
Yeah, good.
And it was I did not know I had that in me.
Yeah. So you dug deep and you just thought, no, and because but professionalism, and basically, if she understood it, she should have seen it as you actually caring about, you'd not met her the first time, but you were caring of the fact that your professional opinion that you've been doing for years, that you said, no can do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's hard.
That was tough.
That was tough. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it is. But sometimes you've just got to do it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to be pushed around, aren't you?
You are,
You're going to be pushed around by your clients, and they're coming to you to see a professional person. And therefore, you know more about what goes into people's bodies than I do.
Look at the history, though, of celebrities and their deaths because they're doctored, because the celebrities said, do it, give me more. And they did.
And they've gone, yes, sir. Yes, they shouldn't do that.
They shouldn't. But the pressure, you know, my heart was pounding. I was very intimidated. I thought, can I make this decision? You know, but I couldn't have done it. I knew in that moment I could not have done it.
No.
And with you saying about empowerment and all that, you know, and I think you've given your people
desperate to do that with girls.
That
Absolutely.
ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you said the other day to me, interestingly, that the accountant, you've taught her how to argue like you. And I thought that was so interesting.
Well, it's quite funny because boyfriends and husbands will say to me over the period of years, because I've been going a long, long time, and I'm not really PC. I mean, honestly, I've gone past that.
Yeah. You've earned your right. You've earned your stripes to not be PC.
Exactly. I've been there. And I can remember, in the early days, when I used to have to let somebody go, it was a matter of calling them in and just saying, look, I'm just going to put my cards on the table and to say, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
You're not really doing that right, are you? I think you're struggling with that. I think you're a lovely lady, but I don't think this job suits you.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
and that's how I used to put it to them. And they go, actually, Barbara, you're right.
Yeah.
And I say, well, that's fantastic. I'll give you a great reference because we haven't fallen out. In fact, 2 of my best friends I employed.
I'm going to use that. I don't think this actually suits you.
No, I did.
Such a diplomatic way to tell somebody.
And I'll say, are you fine? Is everything I've said to you is fair?
Yeah.
And they'd go, actually, yeah. So I'm not being unreasonable, am I? No, you're not. And I'd shake hands and they'd leave. And then all this, God almighty, too many talk about this, talk about that. I honestly, I haven't got the time or the wherewithal to actually sit down. And the thing is, what I don't think tribunals, which I've, please God, I've never been to one.
Yes.
I don't
touch
really
wood,
want to touch wood. Yeah, there's no wood, I'll do that. I talk to my girls, my staff constantly.
Yeah.
So I will constantly, recently I've had a bit of a conversation about somebody in their private life, and it's whilst it's hard for a woman when they're dealing with a husband and children and all things that go on around. Luckily for me, because I'm single, I get up, thank you very much, take care of myself, go to work, and basically I leave any private baggage that is so light. I don't carry anywhere near the same baggage as women that are in business and trying to run 2 lives. I'm constantly talking to them and saying, come have a minute with me, let's just discuss this. So when I get to the point where there's no return, I've done all my talking really, because I've been giving them heads up all the time.
Yeah.
And I'd say a lot of the husband came back to them, the husband's wife said, God, Barbara, when, my wife came to work for you or my girlfriend, she was quite quiet, but I tell you what, now she gives me an argument back. So I go, yeah, good on her. You've changed her. You've changed her.
Brilliant.
And
what a legacy.
It's true. My lovely account lady's been with me just over a year, and she's absolutely fabulous. I mean, but quietly spoken.
Yeah.
And, when sometimes you got to get them, you got to call the money in, because I deal with quite large companies who feel they can take 90 days if they want to.
Right.
Yeah. And even more if they want to.
Yeah.
So I'd say to her once a month, who's giving you grief? Is anybody giving you grief? And she'd go, yes. So I might say you're going to have to refer it to me. Yeah. So I try and give her that. But no, she's absolutely starting to argue the toss just like me. Again, I think it gives her an idea that she's valuable to the company.
Yeah.
It's really seriously important. And I see this with your girls here. It's a family.
It is.
Yeah. And I feel like I say, there's no job too small or too big that nor you should do it or your staff.
Yeah.
And it's the same with me.
Tell me about, before we get, I want to take it back to Triad, because I think that's an incredible feat, and I want to hear a bit more about where you started. But tell me about, while we're on that thread then, how you manage to walk the line boss and friend.
Really hard.
Really hard. Same.
Yeah, really, really hard. Seriously, that's a tough question for me because I'm a personable person.
Absolutely. You've taken the words out of my mouth.
And being an instinctive salesperson, you naturally want to be a people pleaser.
Yes.
Instinctive in me 100%. To do that. And it is in you, because what you do is so personal.
Absolutely.
You've got to get to know your clients.
Yes.
And with me, with my girls, I know about everything, whether they're struggling with money or mortgages or and so I kind of go, oh God, I can't say that today because she's had a right shit morning. Yeah. Oh, I know she's coming after a raging, and you can see that, or something's gone wrong, and I think, oh, well, I'll keep that quiet for a minute. So I choose my battles. Basically, but how do I walk that? Really, really tough, especially with one member of staff, which we have a mutual person, don't we? Which is, I'll Nikki.
Yeah.
And that's how I came to you.
Yeah, that's right, which was amazing.
Through Nikki.
Yeah.
And I've known Nikki since she was 19.
Wowza.
And she's now, she'll shout at me, well, you should know my age. 48, Nick? Maybe, I don't know.
Well, she's a year or two above me in school. And I'm 45. I'm 46 in March, so she...
Yeah, about 48-ish then.
Maybe, yeah.
49, birthday in December. And again, she becomes a daughter, really, because... I've kind of moulded her as much as I could. She's an individual person, very strong, very strong.
Absolutely.
In fact, sometimes I think, shine a light. Yeah. I've done
force.
so much.
Such good, yeah.
I mean, a force.
Absolutely.
I mean, fabulous person.
Yeah.
Would trust her with my life.
She's the same person you see.
Exactly.
Isn't she?
Very honest, transparent, the same person you see. And it's hard. But she's been very respectful with me all the time.
Yeah.
And because I have that connection with her family-wise, sometimes we headbutt.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I've got to say, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But we've never lost the personal side.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to say to her, this is business, Nick, and you
Absolutely.
know, she'll say I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And sometimes she's right, which I don't
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
My way's not always the best way. I get a bit tunnel vision sometimes. And I value her opinion purely because we've been together since we were 19. She was 19. But I think Nick probably finds that a bit harder than me. I think because I do step away a bit from everybody else, and I have to keep a certain amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Not a law. What's the word I'm looking for? Where you can say, yes, I'm a boss that you can talk to and have a laugh with and swear with and have a drink with.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
I am your boss.
I am the boss, and I've got to make the figures work. And sometimes if there's too much chatting, I will interrupt everybody because it's an open plan office and it's all girls. And, we start on something, don't we?
Yeah,
we talking about like sex or something, and before you know where you are, half an hour's gone, I'm thinking, right, done.
Absolutely right.
So you've got to almost just have that one modicum of thing left in your body where you say, no, me boss still, but not flagellate them with it.
Absolutely.
I think we know in life you get more with honey than a stick. Now, sometimes I have to put honey and a stick together and bang it over heads.
100%.
And that's with suppliers as well, because again, that's another tough area. Because sometimes with my suppliers, I have to say, funnily enough, supplier, me customer, you supplier. Because
this is the relationship.
This is the relationship. I might be hale and hearty, but trust me, if I have to, because that was taught to me in a sense that when I started, it was all loads and loads of just male dominated. And I was a young woman, but I've always been stroppy.
Yeah, good.
Always been stroppy. And I think women need to believe in themselves and trust your instincts, which you trusted that day. What happened? Did she go away?
She did.
Did she ever come back? No, she didn't. That's fine. Well, she's probably walking around with trout pants.
Absolutely, I did. I in the nicest way. I that's not my clientele.
No, it's not.
That's not my person. So I'm sure somebody else would, but our ethoses didn't align, and that's not how I treat. So somebody's probably better placed for her.
Exactly.
And I know when to say no.
If she wants to be bombastic. And to say to you her money, which obviously, here we go again. And it's my face. Well, I'm very sorry.
Absolutely.
And that's why you get, is it body
dysmorphia?
Yeah. Because people play up to that by saying, of course I do, I'll do that for you.
Absolutely.
But I know before I came to you, there was another lady I used to see, and I researched it because obviously it's important, isn't it, what you're putting in and where you're putting it?
Absolutely.
And of course I read about all these situations where eyebrows droop and bloody eyes drop down and God knows what, and I'm thinking, God, I don't want to be like bloody, some sort of weird. Yeah. I'm already a weirdo without looking like one, for Christ's sake. So but I went a few times because this person was a facial surgeon, so I thought I can't get better than that.
Yeah.
But the honesty wasn't there.
Yeah. Really interesting.
And that to me, when you're transacting any deals, whether it be on a personal level with me, you and I, or whether in business, I've got to like you actually.
Absolutely.
And if I don't like, it's like if I employ somebody, I've got to like them first.
Absolutely right.
Because I've got to work with them. You know, I mean, obviously I'm semi-retired now, just trying to do one day, but that, you know, I'm still wondering, as you well know,
I can imagine.
And you've got to be, I think the word is very important, invested.
Yes, definitely. And both, like you say, both parties.
Yes, absolutely. Got to be invested. And going back to, you know, like staff as well, I want an investment in them, because when I actually interview, I say, I have a big investment in you. I have an investment in training you, and, you know, and obviously the same with you. But I have an emotional investment in you as well. I see any relationship as a two-way door, as a revolving door. You give some, you give more. But the minute I feel I am giving more than I'm receiving, and this is my interviews, this is how I interview people. And Christ, I even ask them what the star sign is.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think, you know, so really they see me from the moment they come for the interview. I don't describe the job as euphoric or absolutely the most wonderful
Best
day.
thing they're ever going to. Yeah.
No, it's what job they're coming for is a tough job. It's a responsible job, because it's quoting, it's dealing with customers' expectations, it's dealing with communication with the customer. Because as you know as well, you've only got to make one mistake.
Absolutely.
And you don't get that returning footfall, do you?
You know, as well, and just context for people that are listening, you know, we were talking about your brand, you know, talking about like the responsibility that you're talking about. People, their brand is their identity.
Oh God!
So this is what you do.
Kel, I've received books off big people, and they're like this,
Yeah.
and they spend millions of pounds telling me it's a millimetre away. And then when I got to explain them, that's very nice that you designed that, but you do know that won't replicate onto a T-shirt or onto a piece of paper. It looks very, very nice on billboards, but you know, it's it's minute word, and so they've got to be meticulous. They've got to be engaging with the client and with the customers, with the suppliers, because you get the best out of people. And seriously, we can have customers where you've done cartwheels down the office for them because they've forgotten, and they're lovely people now, because they're all marketing directors or people like that, and you just pulled them out of the ship probably last week, and because you're a penny out on something, that's how crucial it can be, they go somewhere else.
Wow.
So the one thing I've seen a difference over the number of years is loyalty.
Yeah.
Where is the loyalty? Where do you remember that 2 years ago I flew stuff out to Dubai and that nobody else would do for them?
Absolutely.
And this is why the retention of clients shows that you're doing something right.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And again, with you.
Yeah, definitely. And as the industry explodes, if you keep that level of integrity and that real sort of unique part, that loyalty, which, interesting enough, we were talking the other day about customer service with another podcast guest, and that sort of loyal customer service has disappeared a bit.
Oh God, yes.
We don't have the same feeling like walking down to the local shop and buying from the local guy, and we get a relationship with him, and we know his mother, and we know his brother, and we know his father, and we buy the bread because we like him.
Yes.
And we go above and beyond.
We do.
You know, whatever. You know, you don't see that. But I think in your industry, where you will be doing these sorts of things, because your industry is merchandise, is branding, you know, unless you go above and beyond for me, and I would remember that. Is there only certain brands surely where it's such a flippant industry where they go, well, hang on, these guys can do this as well. Why would I go?
Oh, tell you honestly, you know, you're against people who work from their back bedroom, you know, and they might come on and say, because it's so easy for someone to go on research on Google or wherever you want to go and research, what would that cost? And it's so easy to do. So we have got to have exemplary service.
Yes.
And communications. Because do you not think we've lost all that?
Yes.
You can tell by me, I'm a communicator. So I rather get on the phone, sort the problem out, than all this ping-ponging back and forth with sodding emails, and I still don't get a resolution. So I have to end up picking the phone up anyway.
Yeah.
Or it comes over, because Nikki will always say to me, Barbara, you write as you speak.
Yes.
Because I do.
Yeah. I've had to learn not to do that.
Oh, God.
I write conversationally, and I agree.
I don't bother.
Yeah.
just
do it anyway. Yeah.
So sometimes when I want to get a point over it might come over a bit aggressive. But if you can hear the intonation in my voice when I'm doing it, I mean, I can tell somebody off with a laugh in my voice. And
do you know what? That is so true. I've been told I'm really cold in emails.
Yeah.
Because I just get the point across.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just not reflection of who you are.
It's not reflection of you. Yeah. Exactly. So with my girls, sometimes when they are reluctant to pick the phone up, because let's face it, the young generation nowadays, I've lost the art of actually looking at somebody's eyes and having a conversation with them.
Absolutely.
And I say to them, no, pick the phone up. Yeah. Look at me to say, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a phone. Oh, what do you
just speak to them?
Yeah, just pick the phone up. And I said, because they can hear that you're anxious about something, like maybe you're not going to make a date, or that something's going to fill in, or whatever. I said, whereas if you just rattle off an email, where's the bonding?
Yeah.
You've got to bond.
And that's a connection.
Yes.
And that releases, that is a normal human emotion. We release serotonin, we release dopamine.
Exactly.
We need, we release oxytocin when we're feeling the love. We have to remember that these we're still human beings.
And they're people.
And let's
face it, some customers can come on and be really arsey.
Yeah.
And I put the phone down and think to myself sometimes, because I try and be constantly looking at positivity as opposed to, yes, I have had a period of my life once I lost my mum, which I was like so close to. It was, even though I knew she was dying for 2 years, she had dementia. And you say goodbye, don't you, gradually. Even when mother died when she was 95, and I just marched on, because that's what you do, isn't it? You marched on, and I did everything that I had to do. And then 18 months later, I just collapsed, basically.
That's when the grief hit
you. And that's when the grief hit me. Yeah. So I do know, my life, people might think, oh, it's okay for her swanning around, because she's done this, she's done that. And it's not being without incident, or without depth of despair. And it really affected me for probably 5 years later.
Wow.
And so,
how did you run your business? If you don't mind.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about actually was about your experiences having. Okay, we've talked about the great side of running a business, positivity. Running a business, going through shit, going through personal grief, losing your mum, continuing to show up. How did you dig deep? Like, how did you still be the Barbara that everybody expected you to be?
Well, this one, I've always, I'm a masker. So I internalize all my information and all my stress and my grief and I am anxiety. I do have anxiety. You might see me as this person who's confident, bubbly. I got no fear, and I haven't really. I would happily meet and communicate and feel very happy with somebody who is not necessarily, in my that sounds dreadful, actually. How do I say it?
No, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying, yeah. Or a
perhaps
prince.
not within your sphere or
in my social circle.
Yeah.
And I say I come from a very poor beginnings, council house girl. Mother was a cleaner. Yeah. Father was a porter.
Wow.
Withenshaw, I was born in my council house where my mother actually died in the same house. So that house basically saw the birth of me and the death of my mother. And so I have worked extremely hard, and nobody's given me anything to get to the level that I am very grateful and thankful that I have been reasonably successful.
It's not rare. It's remarkable what you've done in over 35 years. It really is.
Well, I think it happened. It's peculiar, isn't it? Because I never necessarily wanted to be this. it wasn't like, I didn't go to university. I did my A levels, and of course I was a bolshy head. I was head girl of my school because that was me. Because I can't stand to be told by anybody. So the minute I could be
of course she was head girl.
So the minute I could be a prefect, I was a prefect.
I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm doing it. Yes, please, I'll do that. And I didn't go to university because I felt to myself, oh, really. I don't need university because I just want to go out and be with people.
Yeah.
I'm a people lover.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And so my mother used to say to me, at 5, when I was going to school, and mother used to come for me, obviously, because she only worked part-time because she never wanted me to be a latchkey kid.
Yeah.
And she said at 5, she said, he said to me one day, because I could walk to school basically from where I lived. Mummy, I don't need you anymore now because I'm a big girl at 5. I can walk myself home. And she said to me, right, okay. And she says, I used to have to say I was passing the school at end of school time to come and get you because you were absolutely confident that I could. And she never,
I was just passing.
I'm just passing. She said, that's what she said, I'm passing. Should I walk you home? And I go, yeah, all right then. So
what are you doing here?
What you do? I did, yeah. Yeah. And she said, because obviously you didn't know the dangers at 5, do you, that you could be.
Yeah.
But she was a fabulous mother. She was the one, I think, that gave me my confidence and my ability to don't be scared, love your body. She was really advanced for her generation, in the sense of saying that your body's beautiful, never be ashamed of it. I knew all about the facts of life.
Yeah.
Very, very early on. She bought me magazines, and she said, the body is gorgeous.
Yeah, my mum and dad were really open. Really open.
There wasn't a lock anywhere in my house.
No, same. I could walk in and out.
I
saw my parents' bodies from being really young.
Me too.
And I would talk to my friends about it. They go, what? That's, oh my God, so weird. Who are you? Like, ew.
Yeah, exactly. But, if I wanted to talk to mum, she was in the bath, I'd just walk in.
Same.
And I go, Mum, can I go and play? And she'd go, yeah, be back for whatever time. So I think if my mother had been probably my generation, I think she'd have done really, really well.
Yeah.
Because she was that sort of person. That's why I really I miss her. But so yeah, going back to the grief bit, I eventually fell apart. Didn't get out of bed for weekends, but it was always weekends.
Right.
So I'd turn up for work.
You do your thing, put your face on.
Yeah. It was only when I couldn't cope anymore, and it was funny. I can remember the day I came in and I just thought, I can't do this any longer. I just can't do it. I need help. And it was actually Nikki who said, Barbara, I think you need to go to the doctors. It was killing me, basically.
What were you displaying? Anybody that's ever been through it and doesn't recognise it, because we're maskers, we keep going, we're stoic, we go, it's fine, I'm good, it's fine, no, it's fine, I can cope, I'll do this at home behind closed doors, you don't need to see this.
Yeah, I didn't shower for weekends, stayed in bed.
Well, it's nobody else's responsibility, is it? Yeah, that's how you feel.
Exactly.
It's not your shit to take, it's mine.
Exactly. And I thought, this is not me.
Yeah.
I'm Teflon.
Yeah.
I'm asbestos. What do you mean? I'm having a mental situation going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Felt sick all the time because I went to acupuncture before it came hip.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 30 years. In fact, she's a lovely lady. She's a very clever lady, actually. And I was going acupuncture as well because grief obviously held in your tummy.
Yeah.
Anxiety and stress is your tummy, and grief is in your chest.
Yeah.
Because I got pneumonia about 2 years later, and that was me. The Chinese way, that was me letting going of my grief, because that's where you carry it. I was quite funny with that, actually. Anyway, so I thought, no, I don't do this. So I was coming in, and Nikki could tell the difference because I was probably being withdrawn and just coming in, doing my thing, and going home. And she said one day, and I was just crying. I just burst into tears in the office. Eventually, it slipped. Because you're going to keep it up for so long.
Absolutely.
And it slipped. And she says, you need to go to the doctors. And I said, I think you're right. Because I don't do tablets. I don't take any tablets. Because again, why does Barbara need tablets? Because you know what? I'm a toughie.
Yeah.
I'm a Wythenshawe girl.
Yeah.
They take the girl out of Wythenshawe, but you can't take the Wythenshawe out the girl. And and I went to the doctors, and she just said, listen, it's a chemical imbalance. And I said, don't take tablets. I don't want to be addicted to them. And she says, well, I'm very sorry, but to help you, we just need to stabilise you. And I went on a very, very tiny dose actually it was sertraline. I hated it. But it eventually built back whatever I needed to have done in my brain, and gradually. But I was on those for about 4 years because then I was terrified to come off them.
Yeah.
But then I came off them my own way, just very gradually. And sometimes I have minutes where I feel as though I could slip back.
Absolutely. If you've been there, you can.
You can.
But you recognise it.
I do. And then I give myself a little bit of self-care.
Absolutely right.
So I try and do Pilates and yoga and try and do, proper exercises. And it's great because the women are beautiful women. And you know me, I talk to a growing tree. So, so that's the way I am. But it was basically friends got me through that, really.
Amazing.
And I just wanted to be left alone. And you do like an animal. You actually withdraw, don't you?
Definitely.
Lick your own.
Wounds. Absolutely right.
But sometimes you can't lick yourself better.
100%.
And sometimes even somebody who thinks, oh, Barbara, nothing ever touches Barbara. She's always upbeat. That takes a lot of effort. A lot of effort. Well, you know that as well. And don't forget, I haven't got to share this effort with children.
No, okay.
Or partners.
Yeah.
And, I've always had long relationships.
Yeah.
But it's always been me that's gone. I can't go beyond 9 years, I don't think. Anyway, that's bad. That's bad. But, really, life has been good. And I'm not going to complain. But as we know, I'm a great believer in old souls. I feel, from a spiritual point of view, that I'm trying to learn compassion.
Yes.
Because that's what I think I'm back to do. And I don't want to come back again. I've told all my angels and everybody else. Yeah. Tell my angels.
You're done.
I'm done. I'm done. I think, we've spoken about this before, haven't we? Because, we have a weird kind of connection.
100%.
And the old saying, is it people come into your life for a reason, a season, or for, what's the other one?
What's the other one?
A reason, a season, or...
What is it?
Oh, God, I do know it as well. A reason, a season, or lifetime.
That's right. Yeah.
Something, yeah. And there's people that you meet that is always going to be a lifetime.
It's an energetic, vibrational thing.
It's a field.
Isn't it?
It's a field of energy, I think.
100% field of energy.
And I think energies hook up,
Yeah, so do I.
And I just think that I have also been told that if you meet somebody in your previous life and the actual connection was so strong, you can actually meet them again because the bond is so strong. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think I had that on occasion with a partner that I met. Yeah, and funny, it wasn't meant to be, but it was funny because how we met was, I won't go into because obviously, but it was when we first kind of got together, the very first kiss, I felt as though I'd kissed him for 1,000 years. Seriously, and I've never experienced that before. Anyway, it didn't work out. But when I went to see somebody, because I've always had I'm going weird and wonderful now, and I went to see a woman, which I again had to research the life out of anyway.
Yeah.
And she just said to me, "You met somebody that you had in a previous life," and she described him, and she said the love was so strong that you actually came into this next life, but she said it's not to be and it won't be, and it wasn't.
Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, seriously. And it was such a strong connection with him that I definitely would have had children with him if it had continued. It would have been the only person that I would have had children with.
Gosh.
And that I would have felt he would have supported me in doing what I still wanted to do, because like you, the responsibility of running a company, you know your girls' commitments.
Yeah.
You know where they are in their time of life.
Yeah.
You know their expectations.
Yeah.
You know their dreams.
Yeah.
And where they want to be in 10 years' time.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure that what you're doing at the helm is exactly right. Because you're taking care of yourself and your children's futures.
Yeah.
But you've also got the responsibility.
It's a massive responsibility.
It is. It is. And that's why every decision that you make, no matter how small, ends up to this big choice that you make over a year. And somebody said to me once, Barbara, you haven't just been lucky, you've been clever in every single small choice that you have made throughout your working day, your working year.
Wow.
And that builds up. It's like when you prep a room, when you decorate.
Yeah.
If you prep a room correctly, the whole thing looks finished.
Yes.
Where if you skip corners, I can see...
It'll come back to bite you on the arse, won't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Constantly.
Down the line.
Down the line. And you know what? It does. It does. And then it's harder to shake off. But...
So...
I'll be quiet now.
No, it's fast. I honestly, I get this. We talked about this yesterday. When vibrationally, something changes within me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That's
and
good.
I get it's like a complete. It's the weird. Everything else disappears.
Yeah.
When it's the strangest connection. It's the strangest feeling. But I realise now how connected I am to the ground, to the earth, to the universe, to people. And when I'm with you,
so
that's
important.
Yeah, that's
so important. I think that so important to be the real you. And it's really hard.
We talked about this today, didn't we?
Did you?
Oh my gosh.
Oh God. Oh, so actually, he says he's a brother now. He's another.
It's a brother for another mother. Yeah, definitely.
No, you've got to try and be. You can't be you all the time. Do you know what? Because nobody likes it all the time, do they? But you've got to try and be the real you.
The real you.
Yeah.
Find the real you.
Yeah.
The me.
The me. Yeah. And I think you're pretty much there.
Oh, babe. Well, I'm trying.
A lot younger than me as well.
Trying.
So that's great.
I'm trying.
It's taking me a bloody fucking lifetime.
I was going to say. So we're still trying, aren't we?
Yeah.
But back on that then, and instantly, one thing I wanted to ask you about your career in the beginning, like before we jump forwards again.
Yeah.
Why merchandising? Like,
oh right.
Why that?
Why? Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so when I left school, I went to be a PA to a sales director for baby wear manufacturers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would have been 19 and I travelled into Manchester every single day. He was a fascinating guy, so I still speak to him today, funnily enough, and he's 19. In fact, I still speak to my first boyfriend when I was 16. Yeah, today. So yes, I still speak to him. Wow. Anyway, he was a fabulous boss, very kind of outgoing, dealt with people like mother care and Boots and things like that. And we did baby care ranges. And God knows why he chose me to be his PA at 19. I hadn't done bugger all, basically. And it kind of launched me into dealing with big brands right from an early age, because I had to kind of speak to them and think. They closed down one of the factories, and then I decided, well, my husband, obviously, I moved house from Altrincham, because I bought my first house when I was 19, because I said to him, I'm not buying a house, going to work every day, being a wife and working and doing the house up. So I did it all before. So when I got married, the house was done. So I moved into Congleton, and then on the weekend, and then started a new job in Macclesfield on the Monday. And that was a company called Publicity Textiles. And they did mainly a few merchandising, but mainly ties and scarves. And in days, big business, ties and scarves. So I was dealing with the mills and CMT House and things like that. So I had kind of, my toe was already in it. Did there for a while, then it had to leave due to personal stuff, which I won't go into. I came, and then I was unemployed. So I decided, what really could I do? And because I'd had some in kind of contact with the mills, I actually decided that's what I would do. I would just start selling ties and scarves.
I was going to say that I've got that down.
Have you?
Triad started with woven ties and scarves.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was tough because obviously being by this time, a single person managing, mortgages and things. So obviously I had bills to pay, and going to see the mills. And again, very male oriented, and they obviously wanted security off me. One particular mill wanted to have security on my house. And I'm not giving you that, mate. I thought, how can I do that? I knew I'd be okay. But I went, no, you do know me from previously. Mind you, I was employed last time. So he didn't want to work with me. So that's fine. okay, so I walked away and I began working with other mills. And in them days, it was quite a secretive sort of business. Nobody knew where they were made. So it was quite, because I knew that. So basically I would buy rolls of fabric and then send them to a CMT house, which is called make and trim house.
Wow.
And they would do the ties. But I had a single typewriter. And by the way, I'm dyslexic and I reverse figures, point one, can't bloody spell, don't punctuate. I did A-level lit. Christ knows how I passed that
lit.
and how I passed it. But I don't, Nikki will say, Barbara, don't you believe in commas and exclamation marks and full stops and paragraph? No, I don't actually. No, I don't. So, and I can remember this typewriter and it had a correction tape on it.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
When, and I would type a letter to a client saying what we did, and I would have to type it out physically. And then I'd go to the post office and post it. And then I would be on, and then because I'm a communicator, I was on the phone all day. No, I knew basically where I should be. And that's how I started, basically.
Wow.
Just typing my own letters out. Christ knows if I saw them now. I bet you could see all the mistakes. Did I put a full stop in that? Oh, hang on. Should that have been a capital letter? What? Anyway, so Christ knows how I got any business. But I did, because in my first year, I made a really good profit. But don't forget, I was working from home, no overheads.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that is so cool.
Yeah.
What an interesting start.
Yeah.
What an interesting start.
Yeah. And then eventually I had to think, well, I can't stay here. I've got to kind of break out and employ my first person. So yeah. And basically I've been very, very lucky with the people that I've got, because let's face it, you and I wouldn't be where we are if we didn't have a brilliant team behind us.
Absolutely. There was no iron team, but no, I couldn't do any of this. I always say that without these people.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do it on your own.
You've got to trust them. You've got to trust their decisions when you're not around. And that makes you being able to do the stuff that you can do when you're, obviously facing, your clients.
Absolutely.
And for you to be relaxed enough to do a good job.
Definitely.
Because you can't be stressed.
No.
Doing what you're doing.
No.
Because you've got to evaluate what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Decide of where you think you should go for them.
Yeah.
And manage their expectation that they walk out feeling the best person they can.
Absolutely. I say this, I want to come in, have them be the most important person in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Knowing that everything else is working behind the scenes.
Exactly. And it's difficult because when you get to my age, you can't be looking like you're 21. Mind you, I had bloody crow's feet in my bloody wedding photograph, so I've obviously laughed through my eyes like you do. But when I look at your face, I think I'm in good hands.
Oh my God.
I'm in good hands. I think, brilliant. When I see you. And of course, no, you can't make all my lines go. I know that. But, you can give it enough
softness.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Softness.
Enough softness to still remain Barbara behind
You've
it all.
You've got to have some character in your face.
Exactly. I was going to say
you're
the
not
same
a blank
thing.
surface, are you? Not unless you're a baby.
No.
Or you're still useful and it's like, he's keeping
100%.
everything looking the best it can. But
talking on that then, do you feel that as a woman in a very male-dominated world, or a woman leading, that there was a pressure to look a certain way?
Oh God, yes.
Did you?
Oh yeah. And
have you had that from an early age? Have you do you still, have this kind of, I still feel like that. I don't believe anybody should look at me and go, oh, I can be in joggers today because I didn't give a shit. That's not, again, it's not them. It's you've got to present a certain
you have
image.
I think very much so. I mean, if I came out without any makeup, you'd want to give me mouth to mouth. Because seriously,
look like you've been dug up.
honest to God,
I cannot believe that.
You don't trust me, because I'm a typical English rose. Not necessarily by the word of being rose, because I'm not a rose, but really, really pale skinned. I mean, so pale. So you have to do that with me. So therefore, when I go to, and the thing is though, it's a very fine line between, I've been to gyms where these women walk in and they look as though they're gorgeous because they've got full makeup on.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, when I'm doing a workout, I perspire or sweat or glow, whichever word you want to use. And
this is just a glow.
It's just a glow under my armpits. They come out looking as though they've just had coffee and a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And I think, well, that's not me.
No.
I've always been, like you say, like you, a tomboy.
Yeah, definitely.
I've always got men a lot better than I have with girls because I think it's funny just going back to when I used to meet women in business.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to absolutely rail back any feel of being a strong woman because I wanted her business. So I would rail back me quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd have to be, not the word subservient.
I know what you mean.
But I'd have to be complicit with that.
Okay.
Because
Interesting.
I think because when they had reached the level they were at, they probably had to fight quite hard to do that.
To get there.
And they have to put on this very kind of snarling, I'm going to get the best deal out of you sort of thing. And I say to my girls, in actual fact, you get more out of me as a customer if you're decent with me. Because I want to go the extra mile for you.
Absolutely.
But when you've been an absolute total bitch to me and treating me, in fact, a lot of people who don't know me as a person, when I answer the phone or something, because I answer the phone.
Yeah.
They
go,
or they treat me like I'm a 16-year-old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So some very, very, very occasionally, if I'm a Scorpio. So if you tweak me tail, it will come up a little bit. I tried to control it now because it was really bad when I was younger. And sometimes, even with suppliers, and I'm speaking to a young lady, and fair enough, she's earning a Spurs, which I haven't got a problem with that. You can be assertive. Yes. But you haven't got to be rude.
Absolutely right.
And you don't need to be aggressive.
Yes, I agree.
Because it puts the person's back up. So, and occasionally I have to drop in a conversation who I am.
Oh, good.
If I feel as though they're not picking up vibes from me, that what I am saying, this is what's going to happen, supplier. Yeah. And I have to say, well, that's okay. Then just give me to David and or your MD. And they go, oh, and it's almost like I've got to say, you never know who you're speaking to.
No, you never do. No, I agree.
Never know who you're speaking to.
Same on the other side. I've always thought that.
Always. And I've asked a question now because I've forgotten my question because I've got
No, we were talking about presenting and
yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah, and about
always. When we in the olden days, when we used to go and meet the clients face to face, because I travel all over the country. Yeah. I was always suited and booted, with a briefcase, blouse on, looking like the proper professional woman I am. And I suppose nowadays, so I had to have that exterior of professionalism that when I was young, especially, so when you're like 28 and you're doing this job, and you are talking to experienced sales directors or owners of companies or big companies where, global companies, you can't just walk in, can you, with a pair of joggers and a T-shirt. I know it's a lot more relaxed now. I still can't get my head around it.
I find it very difficult. It's taken a lot for me to arrive in jeans today. I swear to God, I'm normally like in a dress. I'm normally like really like very sharp because it gives gives you an immediate impression.
Yeah. But then going back to today, sometimes it can look as though you're a bit old fashioned.
Absolutely.
And you're not trendy enough.
Correct.
And therefore, how can I go and speak to a 30-year-old marketing manager?
Absolutely right. If they're like,
if they're like,
really edgy and really,
correct.
And they're like, but everything's baggy because that's today's style.
It is.
It's a fine line.
It's a fine line. And I think for me, it's like today, I suppose, because I wanted to give you respect, I've actually come reasonably dressed as opposed to when I come and see you, I've either come from the gym, haven't I? I'm going to Pilates or something, or I've come with no makeup on, and you've said to me, should I put some makeup on? I go, no, I'm going home now. Going home.
Yeah.
But I think it's armour, isn't it?
So weird. So weird.
Yeah.
You've been surrounded by brands and textiles. One of my questions for you was, and designs for years, has it evolved in your sense of style, and has it ever felt like armour? How weird is that?
You see? There we go. Weird again.
Boop, 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 boop.
Exactly. It is. It was.
Wow.
Same with your makeup. For me, when I go out, do I say I'm vain? Probably. I think you got to have a certain amount of vanity to do, to try and look the best you can. I don't know home. God, if you came at home, if I'm painting and decorating, I'm in a pair of scruffy, leggings that's full of paint. I've got more paint on me than the bloody skirting board. But I think it's presentation. It's funny, my mother, even when she was dying, she liked to have her lips on. Always had a lipstick next to her. Always had a lipstick on.
That's a really old-fashioned thing. My mum used to say to me, are you going home to see, said partner or whatever? Do you brush your hair?
Brush your hair.
Just put your lip on. It's like, why?
Yeah, so I think it comes
I
from
live
my
with this person. It's definitely generational.
It's generational. And I said, well, don't forget, I'm a lot older than you. And my mother would go into the shop, she'd put a hat on to go to the shops. And she'd always have a face of makeup on. So I've probably seen my mother do it. So, but it's good to let your hair, not to be. But going back to saying yes, the armour for me was my dress, my walk.
Yeah.
Handshake.
Yes, definitely.
Hair.
Yeah.
It was, I would never go with it down. I would be putting in a bun or any sort of, or a plait.
Yeah.
I would always, obviously talk, hopefully, without gabbling, because I'm a gabbler, but very much so. And maybe today, girls don't need to have that so much armour, more comfortable in their skin.
I think with the rise of feminism and what that looks like, and I don't think it's quite as staunch as it was years ago.
Yes, no, I agree.
We soften it. It's being softened, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because men are understanding it a bit more now, and it doesn't have to be like pitchforks out and, God, let's, whatever. Let's burn the men and burn the bras and whatnot. I think it's a lot, it's a lot more women empowerment than that. I still believe that there's a presentation, there's a way that you need to be.
I think so.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
And whilst it's softened and whilst we can be this softened women and stuff, I still like to see that
I do.
Respectfulness.
I think it's respectful, and also I think it's a brain thing. I think when I kind of not so much now, say, because like you well know, I'm semi-retired, but when I was going to work, it was almost like I was putting on my work head.
That's right.
So therefore, I'm ready for work. I'm ready for business. I'm showered, dressed, makeup on, hair washed, clean, brushed, done, and I always wanted to feel as though gave me a confidence as well.
Yes, that's right.
And I think it's only when you get older that you can do all these things. Yeah. Not necessarily doing that, but I think it also. I think if you weren't looking presentable, doing your job, I just think. Sometimes it can be a lack of thinking you don't really care.
I agree with you. And I think that when you do have a job that's got a degree of responsibility and you've chosen to put yourself as a boss or whatever, as somebody that's doing a job that is about presentation, if you look like a piece of shit. It doesn't instill me in confidence because when I go to a restaurant, I'm still very much like, if I'm paying for Michelin star food, I want you to look like the shit.
Exactly.
Like, make me feel, humour me.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, I don't know about you, but getting out for a restaurant, you don't do it as much as you would like to because you've got commitments.
Definitely.
And I don't know how many times I've had to cancel dinners because something's gone wrong at work, so I've stayed late.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at work last night till 7:30 because I'd not finished my work. I'd done my Pilates at 5:30, and I thought, I'll just finish off. And I like to leave my desk as tidy as I can.
Nice.
So the time I got home last night, it was like 10 to 8, so I hadn't eaten. So I've always done 13-hour days standing on my head. But again, coming back to this, well, I am so hats off to women who are with children, and all my girls are all mothers.
Yeah,
I can go home and then do nothing if I want to.
Yeah, that's
but
it.
But when you go home, you've got to put your mother hat on.
Yeah.
And start again.
Yeah, but the thing is though, that's real, and interestingly enough, I'm coming on to that in that I think that's a real testament to you though, Barbara, because you could have been a different boss in that well, I don't have children, and I get that you do, and you've had to understand a lot of who your people are that you're going to employ, the demographic and the pot that you've got to pick from. Likely they're going to be mothers, right? Likely, so
Yes,
you have to go there.
Yeah.
However, it could have been like PR, like various different industries where they go, well, I'm sorry if you're having children. You're out.
Sorry, mate, you're off.
Absolutely,
I don't care that your child's got temperature this morning, and you couldn't. He wouldn't leave you when you're taking him to nursery.
Yeah.
And they come in with tears in their eyes because maybe it's the first day they've dropped them off.
Yeah.
And
but you've not done that.
No,
you've realised where the benefit and the people.
I value these girls.
Yes, you do, but I don't think lots of people would necessarily employ like that.
No, they wouldn't. No, I think I think you're so right, and I suppose because I haven't experienced it myself, but I've seen my girls experience it. I just take on what they've experienced. And you are right. Again, it's, I don't know how they can't.
I agree, but they can.
And they have.
And they do. Absolutely.
And still do, and people then are forced to leave because, and you've got valuable women here, who are now, let's say, wanting to go back to work.
Yeah.
And they only want to do so many days.
Yeah.
And they've got so much to give. And you know what? They enjoy coming out because they feel as though they've got some value for themselves as well, and they're not just being with children all the time. And I think I think we have a lot of women that go to waste.
Yeah, but the balance of you being able to that you could have been so much more selfish. You said you're quite controlling. Like those two together could make you a super bitch. And make you absolutely no. This is okay. I know you've got children, but that's not.
So what? You came for do a job. Thank you very much. I don't want to. Yeah,
you've been very driven, and it could have led you down a different path. But it shows more about who you are and the humility that you've got and who you want to be and how personable you are.
Well, thank you. I never really thought about it that way. I just try to be. I think I try to be fair but firm. I think I've never thought about it in that way. To be perfectly honest, I haven't. But I've always thought
it's a unique trait.
Is it? I don't know. I'll take it. But I find that's something I find compliments really, really hard to take. But anyway, but on saying that, I've had to sometimes, sometimes if they are taking the Michael, then sometimes I will just say, and it'd be a very quiet word because and they say she notices and hears everything. And I do. I'm like I'm like this Darth Vader person that walks around. Yeah. But no, well, thank you for that. I will take it, but I didn't consider it to be anything more than humane.
That's because of who you are. That's not always what's out there.
No.
And that's what lots of women worry about. Oh, God, I'm going to get pregnant. And even you can hear the bosses like that. That's why these things have come in. There's a menopause act now. There's there's various things to actually protect women about being pregnant. There's shit. Oh my God, I'm pregnant again. How am I going to tell my boss?
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, Nikki's had 2 children.
Yeah.
Managed beautifully well. Dedicated to her job, invested in Triad 100%. We've got one of our other girls are off at the moment. She's come back we've missed her dreadfully. She had a baby and she's been off for a year. And she's coming back. She wants to do 3 days a week. Well, I'd rather have her 3 days a week than not at all.
Yeah.
Can't wait for her to come
Good
back.
People and all
but
that.
We've supported her but because she's got so much history in her head and she's, the good people. The good people.
That's why you have a business legacy that spanned 35 years, Barbara. So, hats off to you.
Well, thank you.
Honestly.
Thank you.
You and I have talked a little bit about feminine and masculine energy. And I have always been slightly controlling in wanting to do a good job all the time and feeling like, okay. I don't think I'm a controlling human in a sort of dogmatic way. But I do feel like, I like to know what's happening next. And I don't think we could do this job. I don't think you could be a boss without having a degree of control about what you do. You, the reins would be too elastic, wouldn't it?
Yes.
But, I think that being a woman boss, there's a degree of sitting in our masculine where we have to sit.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that can easily butt heads against women, especially mothers. With partners, where at home they're expected to sit in their feminine. We have the roles for me in relationships have I've always struggled with men and butting up against that masculine energy.
Yeah.
I can do it. Let me do it. But I sometimes think that softness of a woman wanting to take over. Let me paint. Let me, I want to paint. I can do these things. I want to look after you. I'm a hunter-gatherer. It's very primitive. I've struggled, especially because I'm a tomboy. Have you found it difficult to, or easy to sit in your masculine, to sit in your feminine, to recognize both, know where to step back? We touched on it earlier, but I kind of wanted to just dig deep a little bit.
Yeah, I think naturally, I think I've always been a bit of a tomboy because I was climbing trees and, doing... played marbles.
Same.
I mean, I don't think, I liked an action man as opposed to, cry. I think I should have been a boy, really. And I don't know why, but it's held me in good stead.
Yeah.
That the knocks that you get as a young professional woman coming up, Triumph began in 83, didn't she? And I think I had to sit quite a lot in my masculine phase. Yeah. But I think where women sometimes go wrong nowadays, they don't actually employ their feminine side enough.
I agree with that.
And I think you can be feminine and you can, and I'm going to use a word that people go, I can't believe she said that word, flirtatious.
Yes.
Because without... You can be nice and just have a laugh and be feminine. And
I flirt with everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Women, men.
I do. Oh, I'm dreadful. I'm dreadful. It's like, whilst I can be, it's like if I'm with a partner, and a lot of my, that sounds dreadful. I've not had loads and loads of partners, but they've all been. Well, I mean. If, for instance, one of my, I went on holiday with one of my partners, long term. I was within 10 years, and went on this first holiday, and I'd booked it all. And he said, I went to the bedroom, and for the very first time, he came with me. And I went to the people, no, I'm not in this bedroom. I said, I booked a sea view. I said, I don't want to get onto a ladder and look over and stretch my neck and kill myself off the balcony to go and see a bit of blue sky. So anyway, so then they showed me another one because they've always got another one.
Yeah,
and then they showed me another one. And I still didn't like that one. Eventually, the third or the fourth one, I got what I wanted because I'm very polite. And you can be polite.
Absolutely.
And I do a lot with humour.
Yeah. Yeah,
I do a lot with humour.
I do.
So anyway, so the next thing I went on, I said, I'm going to sit in reception. I'm going to get myself a gin and tonic. You potter upstairs.
You sort the room out.
You go and look at 5 rooms, and in an hour, let me know which room I'm staying in because I'm very happy. Thank you.
Oh, that is brilliant.
So, and that is a true story.
Oh.
And that's what he did for every single holiday we went on. So,
is she happy?
Is she happy? If she doesn't happy, she'll tell you about it. Anyway, so then it's the same with I can sometimes demasculate men, and
yes.
So hard not to. And it's not because they're not masculine. I mean, I went out with a Scorpio. In fact, he was 2 days before me. Fiercely bad. When we had a row, we rowed. It was like fireworks. God. Slamming of doors, walking out. In fact, he'd actually pack his bags.
No.
An overnight case, and he'd go to the Midland for 2 nights because I wouldn't stop arguing.
No way.
And you know what I had to do to calm myself down? Write him a letter.
Did you?
I used to write it down.
Get it all out
because I couldn't talk to him because he wouldn't answer. Well, was it 4 mobiles? I can't remember now. He'd book her off to the bloody Midland. Yeah, I'm going back now, probably 30 years.
Gosh.
That's where he'd take himself. Does he have a nice time? Yeah.
See you tomorrow when you calm down.
Yeah. See you tomorrow when you calm down.
Oh my God.
And then it's the same with tables. They go, just let her choose the table.
Yeah.
Because she's not happy.
Oh God, I'm just...
Yeah, so just choose a table. And I've actually walked out of restaurants because they want to give me a table that I don't like. I'll go somewhere else, thank you. And I sound really snobby, but I'm not.
No, I get it though. You're not. You're absolutely not.
I'm paying for a service.
Yes.
And
you're paying for a service.
I'll tell you something just recently.
You just said it.
Just recently. I went out with a friend. This is probably about a couple of months ago. And he saw a pub. And I was listening to her intently because she had a few things to say, and I've not seen her for a while. And I thought, anyway, so I ordered something, and again, I won't elaborate. And as I was saying, I thought, this is not hot enough because I like my food hot. This is not hot enough. But because she was talking about something that had really upset her, and I was giving her my attention, and I didn't want to start saying, excuse me, this is not hot enough. Can you, like this? You know what I mean? So I didn't. So, but my instincts were saying, don't eat it. But I was hungry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so midway through the meal, you know, the other comes, everything okay? And I say, well, actually, it wasn't really warm enough, but it, you know, so, oh, well, people don't like it piping hot. I said, well, fun enough, I do. But anyway, never mind. My people would always say, she's always got a bloody answer. She's always got a reply. Anyway, so I ate it. And then I thought, oh, anyway, we finished our meal. I think it was a nice meal. Went home. And that night, what did I get?
Oh, God.
Food poisoning.
No.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought my insides had been ripped, and I just knew I should not have eaten. All my guts were saying, don't eat it, don't eat it, don't eat it, don't eat it.
But you were in a bit of a tricky situation because you were listening to somebody that was going through some hard times.
And for one time, I didn't do this. And when it came to pay the bill, she said, was everything okay? And I said, well, actually, I said, it wasn't really hot. And I think in future, I think you should, you know, put a thermostat in and just, you know, whatever.
Just checking it, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but I did complain.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, but
moral of the story.
The moral of the story is that, you know, and this is the thing. So
trust your gut,
and also, don't be afraid.
Yeah,
because I think, you know, I think women and men don't like to complain. No. I think it's a trait in us, isn't it?
I agree.
And really, how do they make things better if you don't, you know, nicely?
Yeah.
Say, excuse me, but this is not enough, or excuse me.
I completely agree. It's really, it's funny actually. I've just been out for dinner recently, and a similar thing happened.
Oh God!
Yeah, we didn't get quite. There was no parsnips on it. There was no this on it. There's no that on it, and we were both. Should we say something? I mean, we'd complained that to this point. Now it was getting a bit much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And now in the end I was like, okay, let's just eat.
You do. Sometimes even I go, oh, you know what? Is it bloody worth it? I just vote with my feet. Yeah. I can remember another and this is what I'm saying about how I take over at table.
Yeah.
Because I think because I give a service and people expect a good service off me, and
that's right. That's where the customer service comes in. And expectation, right?
It is. And I remember we went to this really nice restaurant in Manchester a couple of years ago, and it was a really, really beautiful place. But the whole idea of sitting down with people is communication with your friends, spending some pleasure. But they were bringing the food, and I went. I said to the guy, because we came, and I was with a friend, a male and a girl actually, and I just said, "Excuse me, I didn't know I was at McDonald's." just looked at me. He said, "Sorry." I said, "Well, you're bringing out everything, so wine came, then salsa came, then main meal came," and I said, "I feel as though I'm on some sort of have you got? Do you need to be somewhere? So I said I didn't, and so I said, I said, well, a fast food restaurant. I didn't know I was in a fast food restaurant.
Oh, right, brilliant.
And anyway, they took it as, as a humour, and they didn't come. So we just shout me when you want your dessert. I said, we will, thank you.
Don't you worry.
And they gave us a free bottle of wine.
Did they?
Yeah, they did actually, because there's we appreciate, but it was, I didn't know, but because he'd booked it, it was a 2-hour time slot.
Can't
How can you do that? How can you do that into it? Anyway, they didn't bother us again. They didn't ask for the table back.
We've got to have the table back by. I'm like,
I won't come then.
Yeah,
because
I prefer not.
Exactly. Yeah. So yes. So going back to this, where do I sit? I toggle between them when it suits me. And I think that's an art. So I can be, but,
I'm the same.
Yeah, but no, I think the masculine rises too much in me.
Yes, I agree. And I'm learning to, I mean, I've met a wonderful chap, and I without even realising it, I sit in my feminine.
Nice. Because he must make you feel that way.
Absolutely.
So he's because there's a big talk, isn't there, about poor men at the moment. I feel quite sorry for them, because a lot of them don't know how to treat, a strong woman.
Yeah.
And I like my doors being held open for me.
I do, yeah.
I like, to have compliments paid to me.
Yeah.
Of course I do. But he's got to sit in his masculinity, like we say.
Absolutely.
To allow you to give that space up.
Yeah.
To be.
And to allow him
to be a man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I realise that's important now.
Which is nice for you. Good.
It's amazing, honestly.
Oh, well done you.
Before we leave,
yes,
I wanted to ask you.
Is it 4 o'clock yet?
I was going to say, it's nearly done. I wanted to ask you about, will you ever fully retire? Will you ever walk away from it all?
Well, Nick says I never will. So, but no, I'm definitely making a sea change.
Okay.
So trying to travel. I would love to travel. So just come back. So I'm trying to fill those gaps in that I didn't do. Because holidays stress me, Yeah,
I can imagine.
They do stress me. Hate packing. Hate not being in control of my suitcase when it's, So I've just come back from Auschwitz. I wanted to go and wanted to go there. His word is not enjoyed, but I wanted to go and experience that. So, and going to Budapest next month.
Nice.
So what I'm trying to do is, if I entertain myself by being abroad, I can't wander in the office, can I? Because I wander in and out now, and they don't know.
She's literally got to go abroad to not go into the office.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's
yeah.
dramatic.
So because and unfortunately the gym is near the office, so I park in the car and I wander in. I might have a cup of tea.
No way.
And just see the girl, and the girls are my family as well.
Oh my gosh,
they are my family because I never had any, did I? So,
no, which is amazing.
So that's what I make them.
Do you know what? This has been the most organic, easy conversation I've had on here. Honestly, it's been the flowiest, I suppose. I like I say, quite often I have these prompts and I like to sort of make sure that we've got a bit of a timeline, and it's a degree, a modicum of organised, but this conversation naturally went the way. We've answered everything as we always do.
Well, thank you so much. No, it's pleasure's all mine, and just thank you when you just kind of give me a bit of pain, as I always go, a bit of pain, and you're saying to me naturally, do you want to come and do a podcast? And I'm going, oh yeah, okay, then that's fine. And then nothing was said, and then. It's Sally, isn't it? Sally's been pursuing me.
I know she has.
And then finally she gave me dates, and I thought, oh, gee, she's giving me dates now. I better bloody sort that out.
We need to sort it.
That means she means business. So no, thank you, because seriously, I think you are a wonderful professional.
Thank you.
I think you're an ambassador for your trade.
Thank you so much.
And I think you'll go from strength to strength now. And if this, or engaging with you in this way, helps in a modicum of way, that you're safe in your hands.
Thank you.
And you are honest and transparent.
Thank you.
And trust me, for a war horse to say that, I can give you nothing but I wish you the best of luck for going forward in this wonderful career that you've got.
Thank you so much, Barbara. That means a huge amount to me, coming from you, honestly.
No, and you can pay me later.
I'll pay you later.
No, it's done with sincerity. It really is. And I mean that. Yeah, I do.
Well, please come back, because I feel like there could be a part 2. Always with us.
Always. Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Lovely.
That's it for today's Barefaced Chat. Thank you so much for listening. If you've loved this conversation, make sure you follow, rate, and share. It really helps more people find us and join the conversation. I'll be back next week with another honest, unfiltered chat. Because skin isn't just skin. It's your story, and I'm here for it.